Alright, what's going on, guys? My name's Alex Whittick, this is my purple Mark V TDI, and today we're going to be doing some welding, and we're going to be making some rubber bushing mounts into solid mounts. So stay tuned and let's get to it. Alright guys, so I got the wheel off. We're going to get right into this. So, got my phone in there for some light, and as you can see, the toe arm bushing is cracked and bulging out. And yeah, we're gonna completely make that a solid mount so there's zero play side to side. All right guys, so an important thing I wanna really point out to you guys is that with those type of bushings and stuff like that, they're not made for the type of stress that these cars go through. So people think that camber cars are just slapped together and just run them down the road. Some of them might be, but for mine, I take my safety and other people's safety on the road into account big time. So that rubber bushing has a lot of flex in it. It's cracked already because it's under so much load. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some metal. I'm very good with the metal. And I have a TIG welder. And we're going to make those into solid mounts. Alright, so on the Mark V Jettas, it's actually super simple how the toe arm works. I can't really get my camera in there all that well. But there's a bolt right there. And there's a bolt at the end of the toe arm. And then it just slides right out. But it's under tension right now. So I'm actually going to pull it in until the point where it just doesn't want to expand anymore, and then I'm just going to take the two bolts out and it should just slide right out. So the nut that's on the bottom here, super simple to take off, but the other one, it's obstructed by the sway bar, so you got to drop that. But I've already done it in the past, so I just flipped the bolt and now I don't have to drop the sway bar because Volkswagen likes do stuff the weird way. But this bottom one comes off super simple, and then this one's just an 11/16 and an 18 millimeter, and it'll come right off. I was able to get a much better view of it, but that's the bolt head right there, and usually it's facing in the opposite direction, and right there's a sway bar, so you can't pull it out without pulling the sway bar. So what I did was I took the sway bar out, and then when I put the toe arm back in, I put the head on the opposite side, so now the nut is on the side that's facing the sway bar, so now you're able to pull the bolt clearly, which was super weird on their manufacturing part. But I got that bolt loose. Now I'm going to get this one loose, and then I'm going to take it off and run it over to my table. Alrighty guys, so we have got this toe arm completely out of the car, and let me tell you, that's not center at all. Wow, that's horrible. And then this one's just completely blown out. I thought that this one was like gonna be better than this side, but this side is just like completely off kilter. And I'm not even gonna lie, when I pulled out of my driveway, I seen my wheel like shimmy a little bit, and I can only imagine it's doing that as I drive down the road, and it gives me like really bad wear in the tires and stuff. So yeah, we're gonna have to weld this all up, and these are no longer gonna be moving. Alrighty, so I took the inner part out, stripped all the rubber off of it, and then I'm gonna place that down so you can see. I'll zoom in on it. I completely ground it all down, so now it's a clean workable surface. I'm gonna do the same to this one, and then I'm gonna size up the washers that I've got. They're like thick washers to get ready to weld, and then tomorrow I'm gonna continue this video and I'm gonna weld these solid. So I'm gonna take this washer. I've got a bunch of them from Lowe's. They've just been sitting around getting rusty, getting used for different things, but I got a bunch of them. And then this hole is a little too small, so I've got this step bit right here. I'm gonna step this up, clean this all up, and eventually that's just gonna go around there. This is gonna go back into its little hole. This is gonna go around it. There's a little lip right here that I'm gonna have to grind down and clean up, make it flush with basically this metal right here, clean this all up, and then weld this directly to this. And then there's gonna be zero movement. This is basically what I'm working with here. Little Milwaukee drill with the step bit. And usually you want to lube it all up and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get to it and I'll show you guys the final product. The way these step bits work is they actually make like a tunnel type shape, concave. So the way I usually do this with other things as well is I'll do half, fits in there beautifully, I'll flip it and I'll put it in there so there's no slop on one side that I'll have to weld like a gap or anything like that. So now this is nice and snug. I'm gonna flip it over, I'm gonna drill into it, and then we're gonna have a nice snug fit. I'm gonna do two of those and we'll be able to weld the other weld this side solid. We are getting somewhere, guys. So we've got this cleaned up washer, we've got the hole nice and reamed out. Ooh baby, I am getting excited for this one. This is coming together real quick. So I'm gonna have to close that gap by grinding down that piece in between there. But man, that is gonna be nice and solid. All right guys, so this actually came together super fast. I got both sides done. It's getting pretty late, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm just gonna head up, and then in the morning I'm gonna get a fresh start, and I'll be able to clean this up and then get her all welded. All right guys, so before I head upstairs actually, I went ahead and I did this. I ground down this side, super simple, super easy. See how it's nice and smooth compared to this side where the bushing bulges out a little bit? So now we'll have a nice tight seal between this and this, and we'll be able to lay a nice TIG bead right around there. So I'm really excited to do that. Alrighty guys, so last night I finished up doing this whole side and grinding and stuff like that, so it's prepared to weld. This side is a little bit different, so I'm actually going to keep the bushing inside because it doesn't want to come out freely. I'm just going to grind down the edges and then get rid of all this rubber and then just weld it in place with these washers over here. I got started on this one. So this is going to go together real well. I'm super excited. Got my TIG torch all ready to go. All right, so super simple, classic move. I'm just going to take this washer, put it on the centerpiece, put it in the vise, take the grinder. I have an old grinder, but my other one no longer lives here. It's dead. And actually you just grind it and it's going to spin. You get the edges cleaned up in like seconds. So now you got clean edges, but I'm going to clean it up a little more. Just not holding the camera in my hand, but as you can see, cleaned it up pretty decent, just not the center, but you get the idea. If I had no camera in my hand, it would have been perfect. Alrighty, so I got my washers and everything all prepared and ready to be welded. Got the gas all set up on the TIG welder. And the piece is grounded, so I've just got this center piece in there to center it. I've got this down on here tight. I'm just gonna tack weld it, flip it, put the other washer on there, and then after that's all centered, I'm gonna tack weld this to the actual washer so I can make it all solid and get it ready to weld so it doesn't warp. Alrighty guys, so I've got a tack on each side now, and it's literally just a fuse tack. Just fuse the metal together, no filler added. And I was running at 135 amps for deep penetration. These are two steel pieces, but I'm not exactly sure if they're exactly the same. So they welded it right though, no bubbling, no splattering. And I'm not gonna film the welding portion because when people do that, they don't realize they actually kill pixels in your camera. So that's no bueno. And yeah, I'm gonna get this all welded solid, put the other piece on, and I'll show you. Alrighty guys, so this is actually real cool. There's some smoke coming off of it because it's got a rubber grommet on the very inside, but I got both sides completely tacked up. I think I'm not going to use filler for the edges, and I'm just going to fuse them together with like 140 amps. Alright, so I actually have to put the bushing outside because the center of it was still rubber and it was just making so much smoke. But we got some nice TIG beads on there. That whole side is completely done. And then this side is halfway done. Got a little bit of purple to it. And one thing I wish I had done was just taken the little bit of rubber center out and just centered these prior to. But the reason I didn't was because it kept the metal centered. But once it got hot, it's just been melting. Alright guys, so I'm back in the garage, and currently I have the mount sitting outside in the cold, cooling down. So the rubber bushing inside, it smolders, it gets all black, and smoke goes in the air. It's something I don't like when I weld, and luckily it's not introducing rubber into the weld, so that's okay. But on the opposite side that I'm going to weld after this, I'm actually going to take the whole bushing out and just make it so there's no rubber in the center because it's just a huge issue. And I'm going to be done welding that up in just a minute, and I'm going to show you guys, and you guys are really going to like it. I'm super excited on it, and the beads look really good, so everything's going well. Alright guys, so right now I've got this whole side about to be ready to be welded, and this side's completely done. And then on this side, since it's a little bit different and the middle shaft piece is a little bit smaller, and I don't want any rubber to contaminate or to, you know, melt or anything like that, I'm just drilling out this mount, and I'm gonna go all the way around, and once I have it out enough, I'm gonna actually hit it with the torch. I'm gonna melt the rubber, and then I'm gonna hit that centerpiece out, I'm gonna clean it up, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing with these washers right here and replicate this side, but with a much cleaner rubber-free setup. Alright guys, so now I've got this all drilled out. I just drilled into it like 100 times in every which direction, and yep, center could just pull right out. Super nice, super easy. Now we're left with this mess that just pushes right out. When I peel it back, you can see right into there. You can actually see a shiny metal. So all I gotta do is scrape this out. Basically just left with this mess of rubber inside of here. And I'm just gonna scrape it out. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna burn it out. Gonna go for a little rip in the 8.4. Alrighty guys, so I got that bushing out. I got basically all the rubber cleaned out and burnt out. I've got the center pin right there. I'm gonna grind these big edges down. Repeat this process that I did over here to weld this all up. Also, midway through the video guys, I hope you're really enjoying. And to all my new subscribers, thank you. I can't believe we've been growing so fast, and I hope you enjoy today's video. Alrighty guys, I got both sides prepped. I've got both washers prepped. Everything is ready to go. I'm super excited to tack this up. And once I get everything tacked up, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. The setup guys, just rocking a hoodie, no gloves. But we got the camera out here. Not the code, but she's looking all right, bud. She's looking all right. I'm just fusing the metal at 140 amps. I actually went to school for like 4 years, and I would be adding filler. I've got filler right there, but there was such a big lip on there, corner joint, so I just fused it. This one's coming together great, fully welded all the way around. This piece comes right out, goes right in, both holes, zero issues. So I'm all done with this side. And as you can see, I laid some dimes. But it's time to flip it over and weld the other side. So guys, one of the things that I realized is that with the second one that I did, much better taking all the rubber out. So I finished up welding these. They look good. This side came out amazing. The side with the rubber didn't come out the best. But I'm gonna head outside. I'm actually gonna paint these while they're still hot, so it basically bakes on. I won't breathe in the paint, I promise. And I'm gonna come back inside. The paint will be dry because it's gonna be so hot. And then I'm gonna mount back up in the car. Alrighty, so just like that, painting them just a simple black. You're not gonna see it, and if you do, it's in a dark area, so good. I like that it's black. But yeah, I'm gonna throw these in the car, and I'm really excited. This is just the back half of the tow arm. I got it all back on and aligned. Just the eyeball sight. And then the next thing I'm going to do is tomorrow I'm going to do a string alignment to realign this whole side of the car. But this mounts right back up, zero issues, and zero movement as well. You can't really see it because I haven't picked the camera, but I could shake this thing and there's zero movement. Where through the other one, you could literally see visible movement in every which direction. Show you guys how good the mount looks in the back. Got a little bit of weld shining through. It's all tightened up, solid mount. We follow it back, mounted at the bottom hard. Everything's all tight. And I'm really, really happy with how this came out because I could shake this for days and it doesn't move. And one of the biggest issues I had with this whole setup was I would be pulling out of the driveway and I'd seriously be looking in my side view mirror and I could see the wheel go like that, and that is not good at all. You can only imagine what it's doing down the road and stuff like that. You wouldn't notice it driving, but it eats up tires, and that's movement in the wheel. You don't want that. So now everything's solid mounted. Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing some more mounts being welded and stuff like that. Wow, guys, another fun, enjoyable video done, wrapped up for the day. Guys, I really enjoyed making that mount. We got the BBS, RSs all mounted up. We got the hex on there. Everything's looking good. We've got a little bit of toe in, but I'm gonna fix that at a later date. Right now it's about 1 o'clock in the morning. It's pretty late. I gotta go upstairs and edit this video and stuff like that. This is a 2-day process. It could have gone much faster, but I actually had never welded a solid mount like that before. The second half was definitely much better than the first half, because the first half I left the center with rubber in it and it just bubbled down. It messed up some of the welds and stuff like that, and I don't like any of that. So the second half, I took the whole bushing out and it welded beautifully. I had that whole piece done in minutes, probably about a 15-minute process. But guys, give me any suggestions of what videos you want to see in the future. My brother just picked up this 2014 A4 and we're looking to bag the car. It's got carbon diffuser, it's got a carbon duct bill, it's got a carbon lip, it's got an APR intake, a full APR catback. I believe it has an APR tune or something to that effect. It has a lot of burbles, like just like rolling down hills, like pop, 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 pop. You know, it's making all those burble noises. So the car's actually previously been bagged, is what I've determined, because the car has a an exhaust line in the trunk where the spare tire would go, and it's been chopped. So someone had, you know, put an exhaust line for a manifold through the rubber grommet, left it there. So the car has to have been bagged in the past. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. I also found a few little fuses and stuff. So, you know, there's most likely the car was bagged. But he wants to bag the car and get some wheels. So I'm actually talking to a few people about maybe getting bagged for this car. And we're going to hopefully have a bagged video for that, a bagged video for maybe my Mark 6 TDI, and we have a lot of content to go over with this car. I want to do a roll cage and stuff like that, so I don't want to ramble on, but guys, if you want to follow my other social media platforms, at tilted_TDI is a good one for my TikTok and my Instagram. And let's just keep this thing growing. Today I woke up to 2,000 subscribers, and now I'm at 2,670 or something like that. It's absolutely insane. So we're going up, and I love growing with you guys, and I hope you really enjoy the content as much as I enjoyed. So it's getting pretty late. I'm gonna head upstairs and edit this video, and hopefully it's out to you guys by tomorrow, which is right now for you guys. And I'm more than excited. Everybody have a blessed day, a blessed lunch, blessed breakfast, whatever you guys are doing. Just smile, let's be happy, and I'm excited for future content.